All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to the second season and 18th episode of SVU Sports. I'm your host, Connor Shank, and we're going to be diving into another week of SVU Sports where we're going to showcase the athletes, the great, achievements, games, recognizing games, and other athletic endeavors here. And so make sure to check out our past episodes where we do athlete interviews, talk to some coaches. We have a lot of fun stuff that we've been creating here. So really in hopes to showcase the athletes at Southern Virginia nationwide. So we had a lot of action this past week, number of games. Remember, season's been kicking off. Seasons are starting to continue to roll in, and we're gonna do it a little different this week. We're just gonna start Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Kind of go over there and talk about each game each day. So we had earlier this week the women's basketball team faced off against William Peace, where they won 83-43 with Aisha Foster with 13 points, Camille Norton with 12, Addison Newman with 11, and Abigail Snyder with 10. Same day, and this is the USA South basketball tournament. The men's team faced off against Greensboro. They won that game 80-77. DJ Green with 22 points, Tillman Johnson with 22, Tyler Karchin with 14, Christian Good with 11. And then the baseball team lost 7-9 to Eastern Mennonite, whereas Zach Gertson had 3 hits and a homer. Garrett Stauffer had 3 hits, Stockton Hall 2 hits and a homer. Mason Jones had 2 RBIs in that game as well. And then we're going on to earlier in that week, we had some award ceremonies where Eli Ballstead won Player of the Year in the USA South Conference. Tillman Johnson got second team. All sportsman team was Tyler Karchner for that event. And then women's lacrosse team just had a decisive victory, 16-0, where Ellie Patterson had 4 goals, Kinsey Polson had 3 goals, Mackenzie Mickelson had 3 goals, and then Mia Richards had 2 goals as well to get that off to a quite the beating there they had. So that was awesome. And then men's tennis lost to Hampton Sydney, and then we went on to the women's semifinals and the men's semifinals of the USA South Conference tournament, where we had the women's team winning that game. We had Alyssa Weiland with 14 points, Aisha Foster with 13, Mara Savoon with 11, Addison Newman with 8. The women's softball had a great show out where they scored 18 runs, went 18 on victory, and then lost 2-3. Where Taylor Ware had 3 hits, Madison Christensen 3 hits, Deco Jones and Jessica Jones both had 2 hits apiece. Men's basketball fell to NC Wesleyan 67-95. Unfortunately, ending their season in the semifinals, and we'll be coming out with a basketball recap here in the next few days, covering the great season. I believe it was second most wins in program history, so a lot of great things happened in the men's sports there. And then we had women's softball. Oh, and then women's awards came out. Lynette Schroeder, Coach of the Year in the USA South. Aisha Foster, Defensive Player of the Year. Abigail Snyder, first team. Ruth Kemper, second team. We had honorable mention, Aisha Foster, and then Taylor Hoops was the Sportsmanship Award for the USA South. The men's indoor track team got first place, and women's track team got first place. So that was awesome to see. Joseph Hughes was first in the 800 meter and the mile. Dylan May was first in 3,000 and 5,000 meters. McCormick Johnson got first in the pole vault. Daxton Adams first in a weight throw, and Zeke Newman second in the 400 meter. Onto the women's side, they had Flo Torres got first in the 60-meter hurdles. Heidi Barton second in the 800 meter. Bailey Red first in 3,000 and 5,000 meter. Marin Simmons first in high jump. Sarah Mahmoud first in pole vault there. And then softball took on Wilson College where they won 9-1. Deco Jones 2 hits, Taylor Ware 2 hits and a homer. Madison Christensen 2 hits and a homer. And Abby Sutton with 6 innings pitched in the victory there. And then they beat Wilson again 12-3. Deco Jones, Veronica Anderson 2 hits piece. Oh, Deco Jones hit 3 hits and a homer. Sophia Battle 2 hits. Taylor Ware with the winning pitcher there as she, I believe it was 4 innings pitched, won that one. And then the Saturday was a jam-packed day. To be honest, it was, as Saturdays usually are. Volleyball with a sweep, 3-0-3-0. Christian Schaefer led the team in kills in both games. Christian Schaefer also had aces, 6 in the first game, and then 4 blocks. Garrick Tolman, 14 assists. Game 2 versus the Chargers, Jeremy Brown had an ace. Jayton Hall had 1.5 blocks, and Garrick Tolman with 35 assists. On to men's tennis, where they picked up the victory 4-2 over Maryville. Jared Pitcher, Trent McBride, Jacob Feldman, all with victories, and the doubles teams were 3-0. Then women's tennis fell close match 2-5, I believe it was. Paula Nelson and Jillian Allner both with the victories. Women's lacrosse came up a little short against Goucher, I believe, and Maryland. Kenzie Polson, Reagan Bullock with 2 goals. Maria Perez with 1 goal. Kenzie Mickelson with 4 goals. Ellie Patterson with 3 goals. Men's team had a very, very strong victory against SUNY Deli, 10-7. Clay Hockey with 3 goals. Abe Salmon with 3 goals. Garrett Zonger with 2 goals. And Tyson Mowry with 2 assists. Baseball lost in both their games on that Saturday. Zach Kurtzen had 3 hits. Robert Steffen had 3 hits, 6 RBIs, I believe it was. Ryan Ferris had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. And then softball faced off against Randolph-Macon. They lost both those games. And I believe Randolph-Macon was ranked like 20th in the country. Could have been something like that. So hard-fought games and those that Saturday. And then the women's basketball team won the USA South Conference Championship on Saturday, where Addison Newman was the conference MVP of the tournament. She had I think, season high 22 points in the victory. So they will be headed to the NCAA tournament, and their show's actually today. The selection show is today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that'll be a lot of fun to watch and see, who they draw in the first round of the Division III, I guess, women's basketball tournament. And then Player of the Week awards goes to Addison Newman, as she was like I said, the MVP of the tournament. And I think she's averaged over 13.5 points a game through the three-game slide there. And then Joseph Hughes is the men's Player of the Week, where he came in first in the 800 meter in the mile, both meet records, and second in the 3K was a meet record as well. So congrats to them. A lot of exciting times, and great time to be in Knights. We're bringing home a lot of USA South Conference victories and things like that. And then this upcoming week, typical jam-packed schedule. Men's and women's golf is today, Monday the 3rd, at the Five First Spring Invitational. Then they're carrying on that to Tuesday, where softball is a doubleheader versus Eastern Mennonite. Baseball at Washington and Lee. Wednesday we have women's lacrosse at Sweetbriar. And then Wednesday also men's volleyball is home versus Miramount University. Thursday's off. Friday is women's track and field and men's track and field at the South Region NCAA qualifier. Saturday is same thing with the track and field and women's lacrosse. First Methodist, that's home. Baseball versus Mary Washington, that is away. Men's volleyball, St. Andrews is home. Softball at Roanoke is is away at Roanoke. And men's lacrosse is at Rhodes in Tennessee. And softball, like I said, at Roanoke for that doubleheader. And then I believe the women's basketball team, I think their game will be Friday the 7th, depending on who they play or who they draw. So, like I said, more to come for that. And then that's going to be basically another episode. That's going to be wrapped up. Another episode of the SVU Sports Weekly Show. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you got a closer look at SVU's incredible talent. We hoping to get a lot more interviews and collaborations and things, and sponsors in the mix to keep this channel and keep this kind of media thing going. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, like and subscribe to content. We'll continue to crank out the show and promote the athletes there at Southern Virginia. So we'll see you next week, and go Knights.